Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Welcome to the coin news for the week. We have a few things that I wanted to personally address regarding 2024 coinage. There's been a few people that have addressed, surprisingly, in the last week, that there might be a little bit of a rarity or a shortage to some of the coins being produced this year in 2024. I wanted to personally take some time to address that, as the U.S. Mint did produce their, I guess they have a quarterly report that they announce, and that has come due on what they have produced in 2024 coins. So we're going to address that as well. And the first round of 2024 coins have hit the grading scene. PCGS has logged a number of PND Lincoln Shield cents to their population reports. We're going to talk about it. Should you guys grade these? What's the hot button with it? Why is there a lot of people that's paying a lot of attention to grading moderns? It's kind of crazy. There's a lot of money being thrown around in registry sets right now, so that's probably part of the deal. But I wanted to talk specifically about a few of the coins that have been graded so far this year, bearing a 2024 date. Okay, not only including the Lincoln cent, but also the first Reverend Dr. Polly quarters. All right, there are a number of those that also have been graded. We're going to discuss the population report. And then finally, in the auction world news, the Central States Numismatic Show Heritage Auctions calendar is officially up, and boy, they have a couple kind of nice looking pieces on there. But one peculiar one specifically is a 2000 Lincoln cent Cheerios edition. That's the coin that you could have gotten out of a box of Cheerios back in the year 2000 when they were promoting the new design of the dollar coin. So there's one in Mid-State 69 by NGC that has hit the market. We're going to talk about that. It is actually a very pricey coin, and you're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Ridge Silverhound here. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's go ahead and address kind of like this elephant in the room. A couple people have approached me, and I haven't really given it a thought. Blue, what's the deal with 2024 coinage? Nobody's seeing any of the dimes or nickels out there. There's so few Lincoln cents. And there's been some talk within the community that this might be one of those rarity years, a la 2009. Is there any truth to the matter? Well, I don't know if that's the case. I have noticed that there is a little bit of a slowdown in getting some of the brand new coins out to the general public so far. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the data that's provided by the U.S. Mint on what they have produced so far this year in 2024 on 2024 coinage. All right, so in 2024, the Denver and Philadelphia Mints combined have produced more than 1.4 billion circulation quality coins for numismatic products and circulation orders from the Fed Reserve. All right, that seems like a very stout number, and we got to keep in mind that both facilities are continuously minting coins around the clock. So I expect this number to be doubled, before summer hits. And, even if the coins are having a hard time making their way out of circulation, we also have to keep in mind that these particular coins, sometimes there is a 60 to 90 day gap in getting these in certain locales. Now, if you're within earshot of a Fed Reserve Bank, whether that's St. Louis, Minneapolis, San Francisco, Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, and a few of these other areas, Kansas City, rest assured, they're going to see more of the brand new coins early on compared to the rest of the country that are kind of more isolated, myself included. We're in the Sacramento area. You would think that we would find some of these coins a lot quicker because we are in a semi-larger metropolitan area, but no dice. Haven't seen any of the brand new 2024 coins, whether it's a Lincoln cent, which allegedly a lot of people have been finding. They're plentiful on the secondary market, but also that first release of the new American Women quarters. All right, to kind of break things down on that 1.4 billion number, 1,400,840,000 coin combined output includes 404.8 million Lincoln cents from the Denver Mint, 416.4 million cents from the Philadelphia Mint. So based off of the tracking of those, we expect that both cents, P and D respectively, by the end of the year, we should be somewhere in that 1.5 billion to 1.6 billion produced each. Okay, that hardly seems like a shortage or a rarity. That's going to be a very, very well-produced coin right there. Jefferson 5-cent nickels, 29.76 million for 2024 Denver's. And 31.44 million for the Philadelphia versions. Roosevelt dime production comprises 123 million, so they've actually produced a fair amount of Roosevelt dimes compared to the nickels, but we're seeing a lot more, circulation from nickels than we are dimes. So the Denver's is coming in at 123 million. And 75.5 million for Philadelphia Roosevelt dimes. But yet, a lot of people aren't seeing these. And, because of the absence of these coins, people are talking about it. All right. So based off of what I've seen just from those things, I think we're in a healthy spot here. It's just going to take some time for the coins to distribute across the United States. The secondary market, which I keep close tabs on eBay and various other sites, full 2024 bank boxes have settled in the $75 range shipped, which right out of the gate, you guys know me, the first couple boxes generally sell for $300 to $500, and they did, like clockwork. In the pursuit of the first errors and varieties and the first coins that get sent to PCGS, which we will be talking about here in a few short minutes. But yeah, there was that kind of fever pitch at the very beginning for the newer coins. And now that we are in the month of April, we're actually beyond the halfway point of this month, heading into May, that we have certainly seen where I think is the kind of like the settling point for a lot of these solid $25 bank boxes of these Lincoln cents. In other kind of like number news, quarters, 150 million, 2024 in Denver. Quarter dollars were struck, and that's across the board, from all of the different designs of American Women quarters. As of right now, they've only released one. I think the next one is coming up here very quickly. 162 million Philadelphia's. So it seems to me that the production this year of Philadelphia coinage across the board is shooting past the Denver, which usually it's the other way around. And that includes the production of the first two American Women quarters that have, been announced or already circulated. And then finally, candy half dollars. Meager numbers, but the production of candy half dollars, which used to be a NIFC, is what it's called, not intended for circulation. Really, the only credible way to obtain them is to order them from the mint. And there are a few people that do that just love ordering candy half dollars, and they love that series. But since I believe 2020, around the pandemic, they were producing candy half dollars for circulation use. Although the mintages are light, they're not NIFC light like they were 10 years ago. So far this year, 2024 Denver's at 2.9 million. Philadelphia's coming in at 2.8 million, respectively. And then, of course, they're also producing dollar coins and things like that, the Native American dollars, the innovation dollars as well. 1.12 million Native American dollars, specifically for numismatic sales. So those are still NIFC coins even to this day. All right, so that's the kind of like the updated report, but also from last year, 2023, the annual Mint Directors Report, also showing a very, very just bloated cost of what it takes to produce not only Lincoln cents, but nickels as well. As of that report from last year, they were reporting that it cost 3.07 cents to produce every single Lincoln cent, right? Which is insane to me. And then for nickels, coming in as staggering 11.54 cents, which means is it even worth producing these things? Well, in a way it is. And it's more of a balancing act, because if you guys found out how much it costs to produce quarters and all that, you're not going to feel so bad about the Lincoln cents and nickels. Okay, so they are definitely making some money, on the mintage side of things and the cost and all that, by producing things like dimes and quarters, okay, and then half dollars. That's where they're making up their ground there on that. All right. So from here, let's go ahead and pivot to grading. All right, grading is coming in right now on 2024 P&D Lincoln Shield cents, in addition to the brand new American Women release as of right now. And all this data can be found on PCGS's website through their population report tab at the top. So I figure let's go ahead and start off with the quarters, and then we'll kind of end things off on the Lincoln cents. So the first design of American Women Quarter, which is the Reverend Dr. Polly Murray, okay, both Philadelphia and Denver coins. PCGS right now has a number of 106 total coins graded, for the Philadelphia version of that coin, and I'll give you the breakdown here. 29 and 65 grade, 67 and 66, and only 10 specimens in 67. All right, and if we look back, the last year or two, there's no 68s on any of the American Women quarters. So that's all of the designs from last year. So it's a very, very interesting series where the populations and all that are not very high. I don't think there was a lot of confidence that people really want the American Women quarters in a registry set. But there are a few. But the highest grade is 67 all across the board. There's no 68s. And then some of the pop numbers at the highest grade on some of these quarters, like the Hovita Adar, for example, 2023D, is a staggering 136 examples in a 67, but no 68s. So, it's a series that, it's not one that based off of the numbers is quite popular, because the total pop count for each one of the quarters isn't no more than 490. All right. And then a lot of them are in the 300s. Some of them are in the low 400s, things like that. And then finally, the 2024 D Reverend Dr. Polly Murray coming in at 113. So just a few more than the Philadelphia. 1 in 64. Someone really thought that they had something there with that 64 grade, which is subpar compared to all the other grades. 34 and 65, 73 and 66, and only 5 examples so far in 67. I'm not saying that that's going to be a sleeper, because people are going to be grading these all throughout the year. So we're going to see these numbers adjust to that kind of average that we've seen from the last year. All right. So Lincoln cents. Okay, Lincoln cents is a little bit more interesting, and this is where there's going to be a lot more desirability. The one big piece of news here are the Denvers, and we're going to kind of leave that one for last here. Let's start out with the Philadelphia coins. So far, through PCGS's data, they have graded a total of 155 2024 P Lincoln Shield cents. Here's a breakdown of the grades. 29 examples in 66, 121 in 67, only 5 in 68, which is the top pop across the board for most of the dates going all the way back to the beginning of the series. Now, Denver, they had only graded 20 specimens. All 20 are in 66 grades. This is kind of interesting. Usually Denver has the best quality out of the both mints. and they're like pulling the caboose here. They're like way behind over here. Less submissions, number one. Okay, nobody likes grading in Denver mint anything. Let's be honest, but it's more of a necessity for those registry sets. And in '68, five of them for the Philadelphia. There are no 67s and no 68s for the Denver mint specimen of the Lincoln Shield scent. That's very interesting. And then finally, what I wanted to also address, because there have been no 68s of that 2024 P that have hit the marketplace. However, we've seen a few mid-state 67 examples graded by PCGS that has sold in that $35 to $40 range. Okay, so that represents kind of like the and you've heard me allude to this on a number of occasions, when you're grading ultra moderns, okay, it's almost like an all or nothing proposition. You either go for the very top, and then that one will guarantee you, and I'm just going to throw an example out there for price. If you hit the top pop, congratulations, that's a $2,000 coin. But anything under that, usually it craters into nothing. Okay, you're going to barely make your money back on your submission fees. And that's kind of like the dicey proposition when it comes to grading to help appease a registry set that is just so demanding for the highest quality specimens from the earliest coins all the way up to the current date. All right, so there's going to be a need. But also understand that there's no safety net here that we're looking at. Okay, $37 for one of the 67s is chump change. By the time you factored in how much you've spent on the submission, the shipping, and the insurance, and the fact that you have to send out like 40 or 100 of these things, because you always want to send a bulk submission of the newer coins, so that way you have a lot better chance at hitting at least one at the top grade. That's kind of the rationale there with that. So that's 2024 graded coins. Let's go ahead and move on to our last piece of news for the week. Heritage Auctions has released what is effectively, a very nice kind of brief look into the Central States Numismatic Show auction. Whatever, okay. There's a number of highlights, okay. A lot of like older key type pieces are going to be hitting the market during the event, which is going to be here in a few weeks. It's very early on in May. I think it's like May 7th or something like that, which the live auction will be going. But one of the highlights is going to be this coin here, although it's not graded, the 2000 Lincoln Cent Cheerios version, which, if the coin was not in the original Cheerios card, there's no differentiation in the design to let you know that you have a Cheerios version versus a regular 2000p Lincoln Cent that maybe you could pull out of a roll. Okay, so the actual individual Cheerios Lincoln Cents are currently trading on eBay for between $5 and $10. They are very inexpensive, but there was a point, I believe, during the holidays, about 120 days ago, 150 days ago, a group of 60 of these, all carded up, sold for a fair amount of money. It ended up being like $600, for the bunch. And we have another top pop that has hit the market during the Central States Numismatic Show Heritage Auctions, coming in at NGC Mid-State 69 Red. The last couple examples, actually, another one, a 2000 Cheerios in NGC 69, sold on Great Collections just a few short months ago. It was actually February 11, 2024, tied as finest known with just two others. And I suspect that the one that is being offered on Heritage Auctions is one of the other two. That one sold for $4,050, but it has to be a 69, and that's with NGC. But in addition, there have been a few PCGS examples that were graded at Mid-State 68, and I believe that's the top pop for PCGS. I could only imagine a PCGS Mid-State 69 would probably end up being nearly double the price compared to an NGC graded piece. So back in May 7th, 2023, a PCGS 68 version sold for $2,812. And then another one, June 4th, 2023, ended up selling for $2,432. So those are the last three most recent sales of what has been kind of like a very controversial coin. Like, it's out there. A lot of people speculate that there are differences in the design from those dies on the Cheerios Lincoln Cents, and it's simply not the case. That is only the Sacagawea dollar that has the engraved tail feathers on there, and that is the big reason why that those specific coins, if they're graded like mid-state 65 or higher, are worth nearly $10,000. Okay, so that's kind of like the big one. But let's not forget that a Top Pop Cheerios Lincoln Cent is very much kind of like a weird unicorn type of coin. And is it deserved? That's the only thing. But I think that's more playing into a necessity for a registry set for what it's worth. It's just a weird inclusion into a registry set. But the community at large has spoken. This coin deserves to be in the annals of a Lincoln Cent registry set, especially for a completionist that's looking to buy one of everything. Okay, and that's including also varieties as well. All right, so that is the news for the week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed today's content. And come check us out on all the other various social media. We also have merchandise in our store. BlueRidgeSilverhound.shop is the URL. It's our Shopify store. We have lots of great merchandise, branded merchandise with the Blue Ridge Silverhound brand on there. Go ahead and check that out as well. But that's going to go ahead and do it. You guys take care. Keep on collecting. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.